Good morning, Bobcats, and welcome to Media Special Area for you today. I'm so glad that you were able to join me. I'm going to share a fun little story today, which is a twist on a traditional story that I'm sure all of you have heard, The Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. This is actually The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. After I finish the story, I'm going to share some internet safety rules with you. Now, so the three little wolves and the big bad pig. Once upon a time, there were three cuddly little wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother. The first was black, the second was gray, and the third was white. One day the mother called the three little wolves around her and said, "My children, it is time for you to go out into the world. Go and build a house for yourselves, but beware of the big, bad pig." "Oh, don't worry, Mother, we will watch out for him," said the three little wolves, and they set off. Soon they met a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. "Please, will you give us some of your bricks?" asked the little wolves. "Certainly," said the kangaroo, and she gave them lots of red and yellow bricks. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. Here they go. The very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the little wolves had built. The three little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the door. "Look at that big bad pig. He looks mean." "Well, can you show me your big bad pig face? Let me see." "Oh, I see you out there. I see you. You look mean." The pig knocked on the door and grunted, little wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chin, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china tea pot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. And so he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house did not fall down. I bet he was frustrated. What do you think? But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his sledgehammer and he knocked the house down. The three little wolves only just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. That means they were very scared. He is not very kind. I don't imagine he would be a terrific kid. "We shall have to build a stronger house," they said, and just then they saw a beaver who was mixing concrete into a concrete mixer. "Please, will you give us some of your concrete?" asked the little wolves. "Certainly," said the beaver, and he gave them buckets and buckets full of messy, slurry concrete. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of concrete. That should be pretty strong, shouldn't it? No sooner had they finished than, yeah, you know who it was. The big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the little wolves had built. They were playing battledore and shuttlecock in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house and shut the door. The pig rang the doorbell this time and said, "Little frightened wolves, let me come in." "No, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china pot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house did not fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing, and he went and he fetched his pneumatic drill and smashed the house down. The three little wolves managed to escape, but their chinny chin chins were trembling and trembling and trembling. No. So it's almost like a big jackhammer. That's what he used this time. We shall build an even stronger house, they said, because they were very determined. Just then they saw a truck coming along the road carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. That's a lock. Please, will you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armor plates, and some heavy metal padlocks? They said to the rhinoceros, who was driving the truck. Sure, said the rhinoceros, and he gave them plenty of barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. He also gave them some plexiglass and some reinforced steel chains because he was a generous and kind-hearted rhinoceros. So the three little wolves built themselves an extremely, that means very, very strong house. It was the strongest house one could possibly imagine, and they felt absolutely safe. That was a very nice rhinoceros. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The three little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house, bolted the door, and locked all 37 padlocks. The pig dialed the video entrance phone and said, "Little frightened wolves with the trembling chins, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china pot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed. But the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He brought some dynamite, laid it against the house, lit the fuse, and oh no, oh no, oh no, what's going to happen? The house blew up. The little wolves just managed to escape with their fluffy tails scorched. That means they were just a little, almost like when you toast marshmallows over fire. That's what scorched is, a little bit. "Something must be wrong with our building materials," they said. "We have to try something different. But what?" At that moment, they saw a flamingo coming along, pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. "Please, will you give us some flowers?" added the little wolves. "This is interesting." They've used all of these very strong materials. Now they're asking for flowers. "With pleasure," said Flamingo, and he gave them lots of flowers. And so the three little wolves built themselves a house of flowers. I bet it's going to be awfully beautiful. I don't know how strong it will be, but I bet it's going to be a beautiful home. One wall was of marigolds, one of daffodils, one of pink roses, and one of cherry blossoms. The ceiling was made of sunflowers, and the floor was a carpet of daisies. They had water lilies in their bathtub and buttercups in the refrigerator. It was a rather fragile house, and it swayed in the wind, but it was very beautiful. Next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of flowers that the three little wolves had built. He rang the blue bell at the door and said, "Little frightened wolves with the trembling chins and the scorched tails, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china tea pot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. But as he took a deep breath, ready to breathe, ready to huff and puff, he smelled the soft scent of flowers. It was fantastic, and because the scent was so lovely, the pig took another breath and then another. Instead of huffing and puffing, he began to sniff. He sniffed deeper and deeper until he was quite filled with a fragrant scent. His heart grew tender, and he realized how horrible he had been. Right then, he decided to become a big, good pig. He started to sing and to dance. Oh my goodness gracious, look at that. I love that. At first, the three little wolves were a bit worried. It might be a trick, but soon they realized the pig had truly changed, so they came running out of the house and they started playing games with him. First they played Pig Pog and then Piggy in the middle, and when they were all tired, they even invited him into their house. They offered him tea and strawberries, wolfberries, and asked him to stay with them as long as he wanted. The pig accepted, and they all lived happily together ever after. That was a fun twist on the three little pigs, wasn't it? So that was the three little wolves and the big bad pig. You know, they finally found a house that they were safe in. They had to be smart about it. And today I'm going to talk a little bit to you about being safe in your home. Is there a big bad pig or a big bad wolf out there? Absolutely not. There is not. But today we're going to talk about how you can stay safe online. So we just enjoyed that fun story about the three wolves and the big bad pig, and they were finally safe in their home. Well, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can be safe when you're at home. All of you are spending lots of time on your devices, on your computer, on your iPads. So we're just going to talk for a quick moment or two about how you can stay safe in your home when you are on your computer or your iPad. So you're going to stay safe online. Friends, there are things you need to do and things you should not do. Now, one of the things you need to do to stay safe is you need to only visit sites that you know are safe, preferably with the grown-up that is at your house with you. You should never be going on to sites that your parents or grandparents or aunties or whoever you live with or study with. They should always be with you to see where you are going online. Just like we wouldn't send you off to the store walking off by yourself to go up to the grocery store. You should always have a grown-up nearby so they know where you're going online. Now, you should never, ever, ever, just like we talk about that you don't talk to strangers if you're out and about, you should never talk to strangers on your tablet or your computer. It's just like if you came across somebody that you didn't know in the store, you would not go up and tell them your name and your age and all of that, would you? No, you would not. So you never are to meet anybody or talk to anybody online that you do not know. You should always tell an adult if you see something that upsets you, okay? So if you were to see something that you do wasn't quite right, you just need to go and get your adult and let them know so they can help you with that. So when you're online, you have to be respectful just like you would be in person. That's a big, big thing for Miss Young, and I expect that we are respectful to one another when we're in the media center. And you will also need to do that when you're interacting with people online, on the computer, in your Zoom classes. How can you be respectful of others? Well, you can simply be kind and not hurtful. You write encouraging things. You say encouraging things. You don't say things that are hurtful to other people, right? You're not going to say mean things to other people or about other people ever, because we would not tolerate that when you are at school, and we're not going to do it when we are online in our digital academy classes. Now, you should always ask a grown-up before you ever share a picture or a story about someone, okay? If it's not about you, should not be sharing things about yourself, personal things about yourself on the computer anyway. And you most definitely do not share things about other people. Now, the third thing that's important for you is to remember that you need to protect your privacy. Okay, your personal information, those are things like your name, your address, your phone number, your email, your school. Those are things that you don't put out online for other people to see. Just like you wouldn't just walk up to a stranger and say, "Hi, my name is Miss Young, and I'm 6 years old, and I go to Buck Lake Elementary School, and I live at 4422 Bobcat Lane." You would never do that, right? And you have to do the same thing when you're online, is to keep that personal information to yourself. You know, we have to have passwords for a lot of things. You should never share your passwords with anyone unless it's your parents, so that they can help you with it, but you should not be giving it even to your BFF, right? You don't give your password out to your friends, and you should never post pictures of yourself online. That's something that your grown-ups, if you need to put a picture somewhere, that's something they will help you with. So fourth, one of the things you need to do to keep yourself safe in your home when you're online on your device is you need to ask for permission. Just like you wouldn't just run out of the house and go to a friend's house without asking permission, you need to ask permission for some of the things that you might do online. So before you sign up for something online, you need to ask your grown-ups if it's okay. Before giving out your email or other information that we talked about you should not be giving out, if somebody has requested it that actually needs it, your grown-up is going to help you with that. And before you ever download something onto your computer, you need to make sure you have permission and they know what you are downloading. That's very important, not only to keep you safe, but to protect your device so you don't get anything on it that should not be there. So you should always ask for permission. Now, fifth, one thing I want you to make sure that you always do is you're going to tell someone, a grown-up preferably, when you see something online, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if you know it's not right, you need to let your grown-up know immediately. If you see that somebody has made mean or hurtful comments, you need to let a grown-up know. Or if somebody is mean to you online, you need to let a grown-up know right away, just like we would do at school, right? So you need to do the same thing when you are at home and online. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is cyberbullying. Sometimes we have had experiences with bullies at school, right? They're not kind. They may pick on you. It continues. And we encourage everyone when that happens to tell an adult or a grown-up so that they can help you with that. Well, online we can have something called cyberbullying. And so when someone is unkind or hurtful to you or someone else online, maybe they send me messages, maybe they tell lies about the person, right? That's not okay. And you need to let a grown-up know as well. If you are being bullied online, do not reply to the person. You need to save every message, and most importantly, you need to let an adult know right away so that they can help you. We want your experience while you're doing Digital Academy to continue to be a great one. So these internet safety tips are just a few things I want you to remember while you're learning at home, and then if you're just online doing something fun. So Bobcats, thank you for joining me for this story and for a few tips about how to stay safe online. And I will see you next time. Have a great week, Bobcats. We miss you. Learn a lot today. Read a book. Have a great one.